Welcome to the KCLau's Money Tip Show. This is episode number 3, how to be sure if a property is worth investing and worth financing. First, we are going to talk about what is missing in Rich Dad Poor Dad series of books. The author of New York Times bestseller, Robert T. Kiyosaki, has challenged and changed the way millions of people around the world think about money. In the series of personal finance books and the cash flow board game, he has been emphasizing the importance of cash flow in all types of investment, particularly in real estate investment and businesses. However, none of his books or the cash flow board game explicitly teaches people how to calculate cash flow of an investment, especially when options of finance or loans are involved. He probably skipped the part of calculation in order to keep the contents of his book and the board game easy to understand. Simplicity normally sells better, I think. So what is the most important calculation in an investment evaluation? Here, I'm going to explain the methodology. Many individual investors let good opportunities slip through their fingers without knowing it, mainly because they fail to identify if an investment is generating enough cash flow or not. This happens commonly in real estate investment, as most of them involve financing. Moreover, calculation of cash flow becomes more sophisticated when there is a loan involved in an investment. How is the real return if you borrow a lot of money to finance your property purchase? Is the return rate going up if you fork out more money out of your own pocket? Or how about paying 100% cash? How is the actual return affected? These are some of the questions novice investors just cannot answer. Many individual investors are also not aware that their existing investments are not properly leveraged for the maximum return. Unlike institutional investors who have a professional team to perform the calculation, the computation, most individual investors do not know how to calculate return on their finance investments. You may want to know exactly how much return you will get according to different financing scenarios, but how do you do that? The answer is that if you want to evaluate a property investment and maximize the return, you need to calculate based on at least 2 different scenarios. Scenario 1. Use the highest leverage, or in other words, maximum financing possible, say 70 to 100% financing. Scenario number 2. Use a low leverage or no financing, pay 100% cash or up to 20% financing. Then you calculate the cash on cash yield. These different scenarios produce different yield. So that difference in yield show you a graph shape. You can use an Excel spreadsheet to deal with this, put in a formula, input the variables, and voila! You can plot a graph showing you the yield trend instantly. So now I'm going to explain the methodology with sample calculation here. Now let's put this method of evaluation in numbers so you can understand it better. Here's a scenario. Say you are looking at a property name, 1 Damansara condominium. The asking price is 405,405.30. Legal brokerage fee estimated is going to be 18,225 ringgit, and a monthly maintenance cost is 180 per month. Furnishing cost is 10,000. Mortgage interest 4.3% per annum. Loan tenure 30 years. So let's do some calculation to see if this property is worth investing, with the objective to rent out the place for a steady monthly income. Now, scenario number 1, with 90% loan to value. Installment is 1,800 around there per month, and the rental is 1,200 per month. So the cash you need to fork out for this investment includes the 10% down payment, which is 40,500, legal and brokerage fee 18,225 ringgit, furnishing cost 10,000, so the total cash capital is all the 3 above added up is 68,725 ringgit. And the monthly cash flow equals to the rental income minus the installment and maintenance, so you get the result is negative 783 ringgit. So you have to fork out another extra 783 ringgit every month. So it is producing negative cash flow. Since it is sucking money out of your pocket every month, obviously this property is not worth investing right now. Now let's look at scenario number 2. It's still 90% LTV, installment is still the same, 1,800 per month, but the rental, say you can get 2,200 per month. So in this scenario, let's assume that you manage to find a tenant who are willing to pay 2,200 per month. Then your total cash capital is still the same as scenario number 1, which is still 68,000 something, but you will generate a positive cash flow now. Monthly cash flow 2,200 minus all the installment and the maintenance, you still get 216 ringgit 19 cent every month. So the cash on cash yield or return on cash investment is the annual cash return in percentage of total cash capital invested. It is computed by dividing total monthly cash flow of a year by the total cash capital. So let's calculate the cash on cash yield. The cash on cash yield is basically 216 ringgit times 12 divided by the amount of money, the cash you fork out is 68,000 something, so you get 3.8% cash on cash return. Now this property will be worth investing because it is generating income every month. The return is even higher than putting the money in fixed deposit. So obviously you should invest in this kind of property if it's generating positive cash flow every month. Let me explain what is considered worth investing. A real estate investment that generates monthly cash flow effectively put money into your pocket every month, while equity in the real estate investment increases and the value of the real estate appreciates over time. This is the real estate investment that we are looking for, an investment worth investing. For a real estate investment, the actual return should be better than indicated by cash on cash yield, because each month the mortgage loan repayment comprises of two portions, the principal and the interest. The loan is being paid down by principal payment. So although the paid principal is not spendable, it's like the money in the bank when an investor sells property, then you realize all the gain, right? Okay, now so let's move on to scenario number 3. Now we are going to calculate based on a lower LTV, where you only pay 600 ringgit per month installment and you're still getting the same rental 2,200 per month. So similar to scenario number 2 above, but this time you just borrow 30% loan, not the maximum 90%. So the total cash capital increases because you need to pay 70% of the property value with your own money. And the total cash capital will be 311,000. And the monthly cash flow is even higher, right? It's 1,400 ringgit per month. So the cash on cash yield is 5.5%. So compare the yield to scenario 2, it is higher than. That means that the less you borrow, the higher yield you get. This also means that although this property providing 2,200 monthly rental income is worth investing, it is in fact not worth financing, because the more you finance, the lower the return you get. Now let's look at another scenario. This will be very interesting. This is the most exciting part of this whole show. Everything stay the same, but the rental income increased to 2,400 per month. Same property still, huh? So scenario number 4, using the same calculation method as above, we found that when you finance 30%, the cash on cash yield is 6.23%, but when you finance 90%, the cash on cash yield is 7.27%. So if you manage to finance 100%, the cash on cash yield is even higher at 9.17%. So here's a table showing the result of all the relevant calculation. Basically, when you pay cash, it's only 6.15%, but if you finance a lot, 100%, you get 9.17%. So it's even like 3% more if you finance it. So this is what's considered worth financing. In scenario number 4 we discussed above, you can see that the more you borrow to buy this property, the higher yield you are getting from the deal. This example shows that the property is not only worth investing, it is also worth to finance the investment. The more money you borrow from this investment, the better return you get. If you can spot this kind of property, it is better to keep the cash to yourself and borrow as much as you can. Most knowledgeable investors, large or small, experienced or beginners, rely on this type of system for determining if a property meets their investment requirements. It also serves as a convenient way to analyze various ways of purchasing the same property and choosing the best one. It gives you an easy way to compare several properties using the formula on each. Now we have shown you the methodology behind how this calculation works and the logic behind the calculations. You can of course take out a computer and build this tool for yourself too, or you can easily try out the web hosted version we built on our website at propertymethod.com. It's propertymethod.com. Remember this, numbers don't lie. My name is KCLau, and if you want to get any update from me or listen to any free training I'm going to put up on my website, just go to my main blog at KCLau.com, KCLau.com. Subscribe to my email list and you'll get informed. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye.